have a wonderful electronic invention I want you to see.
It looks something like this.
Welcome back to our special talk session. This movie is the final part of a 3-video series session. If you haven't watched our previous sessions, we invite you to do so. We had some great discussions with Lee from America and Dan from Canada. In this final session, we have invited a guest from Australia who will now introduce himself.
Hello. My name is Alan Winford from the Gold Coast, Australia. I have lived in Japan for 5 years. I love Japan and its culture, and especially the food.
Welcome to our special talk session, Alan. Can I call you Alan?
Sure. Actually, I prefer it when people call me by my first name. It makes me feel more comfortable.
Great. Please call me Shuji.
Okay, Shuji. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. Could you please tell us how the coronavirus has affected your country?
Sure. As you all know, coronavirus has affected our lives and the world in so many ways. The way we go about our daily routines and habits has had to change to adapt to this new, very contagious virus. In Australia, some of the toughest restrictions in the world have been implemented to try and stop or slow the spread of COVID-19. For example, no interstate travel, no international travel, and very strict social distancing rules. In Australia, unlike Japan, these restrictions are law, meaning you will pay a big penalty if you don't follow the rules. Japan has done things differently to Australia by putting more trust in its people. Japanese people are more formal. They follow the orders and they're more respectful of other people, whereas Australians are more laid back and casual. So the Japanese government has put a lot of trust in the people, I think, to help limit the spread of COVID-19. Also in Japan, it's a part of your culture with the mask wearing, and it's been easy for the Japanese people to adapt to wearing a mask every day. Australians aren't used to wearing masks, so it's been very challenging, I think, for everyone, being the same, wearing a mask. So I think Japan has done a great job, Japan and its people, at limiting the spread of COVID-19. I really believe this is because of your culture. Wearing the masks, respecting other people, and being very clean. So thank you for your good manners, and okay, thank you.
Thank you, Alan. In the previous session, we learned that the cultural difference might affect the current status of coronavirus infection in each country. Wearing masks is one of the examples for that, as you mentioned it earlier. You also pointed out another important aspect of cultural difference. It also has an impact on the way we fight against the coronavirus. As you mentioned, I think in general, Japanese people like following orders. Therefore, the Japanese government might not need to put heavy restrictions. Thank you for the input. Now, if you don't mind, could you tell us a little more on how the coronavirus has affected your family?
Okay. My family, my parents in Australia, haven't been affected that much. They live in the countryside, on the side of a mountain, surrounded by nature. So they are both retired now. They don't work anymore, and they only really go out now for shopping or to visit the doctor. So the only way it's affected them is maybe they have socialised with their friends less, but that's it. My dad is 73 now, and he has a few health conditions. So he has to be very careful not to catch COVID-19. So otherwise it could be deadly for him. But for me, with the coronavirus restrictions, obviously I can't travel to Australia to visit them. But luckily, thanks to technology, I can Skype with them once a week and ask them if they're okay and say hi. So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the question.
Thank you very much for the answer. I hope that we can have a more normal life again as we used to not too long ago.
Now we would like to take a few minutes to discuss some questions from our students. My name is Yuko Asahi. I work at the Center for International Research and Education. Our first question comes from Ayaka.
Hello, my name is Ayaka. I'm a first student majoring in radiological technology. First, thank you for today's interesting session. If Alan doesn't mind, I have a personal question for him.
Oh no, go ahead. Foreigners love personal questions.
What brought you to Japan?
Oh, that's a very natural question, Ayaka. Years ago, I met some Japanese people studying English in Japan, and I became friends with them. After that, I decided to try living in Japan, and I met my girlfriend here, and we plan on getting married within this year. So thank you for your good question.
We have another question from Julia.
My name is Julia. I'm a first-year nursing student. I have another question for you, Alan.
Oh, go ahead, Julia.
What is good and what is bad about Australia healthcare?
Well, that's a very good question. A good point about Australian healthcare is it's free, and it's called Medicare. But there are a few bad points. For one, there aren't enough doctors or nurses or hospitals. The waiting times for major surgeries, operations and treatments can be more than 2 years. And emergency departments are very busy. Sometimes there's a line of ambulances waiting at the emergency department. So thank you for your question.
Okay, let's take a final question, should we? Maki, you have the honor to ask Alan our last question for today. Please go ahead.
Alan, could you tell us which country you think has managed COVID-19 better, Australia or Japan?
Oh, thanks. That's a good question, Maki. That's an easy question to answer. I think Japan is doing a great job at managing COVID-19. people in Japan are used to wearing masks as a part of the culture, and for Australians, it's a challenge to get everyone to wear masks. So I think Japan is doing a better job at managing the virus. Thank you.
This brings to an end of our discussion today. Thank you to all of you who helped us to make this event a reality. And a special thanks to our guest, Alan, and our university crew. Let's all try our best to fight off this coronavirus. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.